You are listening and watching to a very special podcast. Let us continue, shall we? There she was. Rory Leigh was visited by her guardian. Her guardian looked at her with concern.
Ah, Rory. Good to see you. Oh dear.
Rory was shaken up. The guardian knew.
Oh, it was her, wasn't it?
Rory nodded. She wrote down her answer, but before the guardian could respond, a voice said,
Hey, who's the cutie here? Where did she come from?
It was none other than Solo, one of an agent of Nevermore. It wasn't until Rory was a little shy and went behind her guardian. But her guardian just laughed and said,
Don't worry, he's a good person. He wanted to ask me a little bit on you. Mind if you come out from hiding, little lady? He asked.
Rory obliged, but she kept her face down. Her cheeks were turning a bit red. Solo looked up and down at Rory. He circled around.
So this is the fastest weapon I've heard about. Yes, but she can't speak. I see. But I don't think she should be referred to as an it, if that's what you are trying to do. No. Actually, I find her very unique.
That's when Solo introduced himself. Rory just looked at him. She responded back on the piece of paper. Nice to meet you too. Sorry, I don't like being touched. Solo was surprised.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, your guardian managed to tell me about that. I know you don't want to talk about it.
Rory nodded and wrote down her answer in a swift motion and showed it. Yeah. If you do you want to see them?
My scars?
That made Solo repulsed a bit.
No, that won't be necessary, but thank you. Maybe some other time.
Rory wrote something else down swiftly again, showed it, and it said, I understand. I assume you're from the agency of Nevermore, correct?
Yeah, I am.
But then he was interrupted by her scribble of paper. She had nice handwriting, but that didn't matter. She turned it around, and he read something that said, All right, good. I want you to take me to them.
What?
Then she pointed to the word, saying, as if she was talking to a child for them to read, Take me to Nevermore. That's what she pointed. That's not what she said, since she cannot speak. Solo was repulsed.
I don't think that would be...
That made Rory angry. She flipped the page over and wrote down another. Why not? Her guardian came beside her.
We must not to be hasty. I believe they're quite busy. They're a bit shooken up by, the incident at the beach, he said.
Rory wrote down next that only her guardian could see, which said, Fair enough. Then she wrote down an apology to Solo, which he accepted. But he was looking at her. She looked troubled. Once that was over, Rory went away. However, she managed to come across something. There was a young man that was just carrying a bag of groceries. Rory came next to him. She tapped him instantly on the shoulder, wrote down her answer quickly, and it said for him to read. "Do you need any help, sir?" The young man was timid looking, but he seemed nice enough, and he said, "No, that won't be necessary, but thank you." Rory wrote down her next answer. "Are you sure?" "If you want, I can." "I believe I'm quite busy. You see, I have somewhere to be, but thank you." Rory nodded. However, the young man said, "But if you need to find me, I'm around, don't worry." "I'm Taylor, by the way." Rory wrote down the next answer, which said, Rory Leigh." Taylor nodded. "I see. Well, see you later, Rory." And he went away. That was when Rory realized that she was blushing. She realized how handsome he was. She couldn't help but wonder who was that guy. He seemed pretty cute. She couldn't help but smile to herself. She let out a... But then when she realized she had to focus, so she went away, wondering how in the world would she even focus on how beautiful someone would be. That would be the same as being obsessed with perfection. But this guy was different. He seemed nice. Too nice. Sweet. She couldn't help but notice that her heart was beating. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Her pulse was just going crazy. Just seeing a pretty face like that reminded her of Ben. It was then Rory felt like she was falling into a trance and begins to write down his name so many times. It was like she was trying to write 1,000 lines on a chalkboard, and it said, Ben, 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 over and over and over again. She even changed the words Ben to, Ben, I love you. I miss you, Ben. I need you. I want you, Ben. Please help me, Ben. Please help me. And then she somehow fell unconscious and fell into it as she had a memory resurfaced in her mind. Rory Leigh was exhausted from a long day. She looked over to see a young man was trying to escort her. But all Rory, Stephanie said was, "No, sir. Thank you, though," she said in a soft voice. "Please, I just want to help you. That's all I'm trying to do," said the man. Stephanie blushed. She never met someone as kind as him. He was trying to be helpful. Stephanie said, "What's your name, sir?" "Oh, you're being too polite. I never met someone as polite as you." "I'm Stephanie." "I'm Ben. It's a pleasure to meet you, Stephanie."
You truly are a beautiful girl. Now, go back in there, he said.
Stephanie nodded. Okay. See you later, Ben. It was nice meeting you. But after she closed the door, she couldn't help but feel her face was red. Her heart was beating so fast, it was skipping beats after beats. Back in the present, Rory woke up and gasped in horror to see someone was standing over. Hey, are you okay? You're not, sick or anything, are you? It was none other than Barrere Devlin. Rory just stood up instantly. Hey, no need to be afraid. I'm just here to help. I'm Agent Barrere Devlin. Rory looked at her with surprise. There was another agent. Another one from Nevermore. It couldn't be. Could this be the legendary Sleeping Beauty she heard so much about? Rory then looked over at the pieces of paper. She flipped them all over to cover it, and she managed to write down something that said, You're Barrere Devlin? It's a pleasure to meet you. You can't speak? Rory looked a bit ashamed. Barrere looked at her. Hey, no need to worry. It's okay. Do you need a place to sleep or anything? She asked. Rory didn't know what to say. Barrere, all of a sudden, reached her hand over, careful not to touch her, but lent it out and said, Come on. I promise, I'm going to give you a nice place to stay. Rory nodded and followed her. That's it for now. But stay tuned, we got more coming your way. I'm Catherine Donovan. I'll see you next time.